we go. What's up, everybody? This is Pac-Man 1987. Welcome to Crash Desktop. I'm playing some Kerbal today. It's been a while. And I have decided today that I'm going to mess with some Soviet and Russian spacecraft. We'll see here how I do with that. I have to admit, I'm not really as knowledgeable on Russian spacecraft, like by any stretch of the imagination, compared to what I know about American spacecraft. So I've been trying to pick some of it up, figure some things out. We'll see. Some pretty neat stuff they did. I'm going to start with Vostok. I'm going to look at these parts. I haven't really messed with them much. I know we've got 3 different versions of it. And the Vostok one would be this little guy where it's just one Kerbal. Now there is, there's an important thing I need to test though. I'm actually gonna throw this out on the pad real quick. Heck is Jeb? Base right now? Well, I don't know what these guys are doing, but we'll figure that out later. Oh, I bet I do know what they're doing, actually. Okay. That's okay. Valentina is actually named after a cosmonaut who was, in fact, the first, I believe, first woman in space. Don't quote me on that, but I believe so. So, she works for this. I'm going to throw this out on the pad real quick, because I need to see something. Because the big thing with Vostok is... the cosmonaut actually parachuted out of it about 7 kilometers up in the air. They did not land with it because it landed too hard. So, I'm going to get out of this real quick. I just need to see... I've never actually tried the parachutes out. Okay, so I just have to click to deploy it. That's cool. This thing is really small. The inside. Neat. Very cool. Okay. Retrieve this. So let's build a Vostok, shall we? I know there should be enough parts here to do this pretty, at least visually accurately. What does this thing have in it? Okay, so it's got its own power. No idea what force percent is. It's how much of the force they have. That's an interesting button. Oh, that's a cool feature. I didn't know that was in there yet. Very neat. Have its own decoupler? Wait a minute. I want to see this. What does it do? I have no idea what that does. That's interesting. It says it has a decoupler. Well, let's start putting it together. We'll do some testing. I know a way to test this. I suspect if it has a decoupler, it's like here. We'll try this. That's kind of an important piece of information to know. go. I probably need some struts on this. Alright, well. What? They added an export craft to Steam button? I like that. Alright, so if this thing has a built-in decoupler and I activate it, it should just fall. It doesn't show up here, so I don't know. Oh, it does! That's cool. Very neat. I'm digging it. That's a fun feature. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and recover that. Now we know. Very good, that didn't stay on the pad. So, let's design the thing. Alright, so we're gonna need, obviously, start over. We need one of these. Got one of those. What else do we got? We got some lights. Has a ablator. That's gonna be important. I don't know how good 20 ablator is gonna be, but we'll see. Maybe I'll do an unmanned test first? I don't know. Let's see here. So we're gonna need a little bit of fuel and monopropellant. Not a whole lot. It has an odd design to it. Got a picture of it over here. What did they give me that resembles Vostok? What are you? Aha! Does this contain fuel? This does. What are you? Ooh, okay. Yep, this is it. That's totally the parts. Neat. Little tiny engine. Gonna need some RCS, but we'll work on that. It doesn't need very much at all. Probably this thing would be sufficient. What kind of thrust to weight ratio does this little guy have? That has a lot of Delta V, good grief. That's like a super efficient little tiny vehicle. Probably use those for escape vehicles or something. Interesting. Okay, so we've got that. I like this too. They have this thing that's like kind of it's attaching it. And that really is kind of how they attach it. They just had big straps, I believe, by the looks of it, that held it onto the thing that severed when they needed to let it loose. That's kind of wild. Early spacecraft. Wacky stuff. Let's see, what can I do? Oh, there's like a little tiny tank. Minified. Yeah, that's what we need. Actually, if I really wanted to be accurate, the real thing had like a bunch of these. But I don't need that many. So that's a lot of monoprop. It'd look neat though. What? Yeah, we'll do that. Alright, how much monoprop does that give us? 60 units. That's way more than we could ever possibly need. But I'll take it. And I feel like it isn't going to need much in the way of RCS controls. In fact, it may only really need these. It only really needs to be able to pitch. Where's the center of mass? Back. Bet you I could even get away with just doing this. Like that's the forward arc of the vehicle, so do those. Do a trick. One weird trick. Go with. I don't know how well this is really gonna work, but we'll see. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna get a cluster out of that, so I'll do it this way. Oh, come on. There we go. Feel like that. That'll be good. Give it one of these. Give it full. Oop. Didn't like that. Interesting. There we go, we'll do it this way. Hello! How are you doing? That looks pretty good. That should give me full control. Just the two thrusters. Huh. Real one had like a couple of antenna things sticking out of it. That's kind of interesting. Weird. See what we can do here with this. Well, I don't have antennas quite like what it had. What I do have, sweet science pack that has a part that kind of resembles them. Let me see if it's too big. No, not the science micro. There it is. Let me see. Hey, hey. That kind of resembles it. Except kind of resembles it. Maybe nope. There we go. That's kind of right. Looks like it. Need a parachute. What do I got? that's probably sufficient. We don't want that. That's way too. I would say it's this little guy for the parachute. That looks like a Vostok to me. Do I have Delta VYs now? I got 2,300. No, that's mass. What do I got? 2,100. Jeez, we don't need that much. Not even remotely that much. Bump this way down. A little more than that. Well, don't need that much to get back. That should be sufficient. Call it cost stock. Now, I need to build a booster for this thing. Which has a bit different look to it. It's actually a 3-stage launch vehicle. Okay. This should be fairly easy to build. So, we're gonna need a decoupler, inflatable airlock. I believe this is actually supposed to be this decoupler. Probably. Maybe? Maybe not. Inflatable airlocks. That is an odd dream. That's a very odd dream. I know, I played enough Last of Us to know that throwing bricks at scary things usually ends up making them very angry. That shroud was longer. I wonder though, so this could kind of work. Let's see. I can kind of like mush this up in here a bit. That's cool. Now what about, so there should be like a little fairing on this. Doesn't really have to be, but it'll look good if it's there. I'm gonna auto strut that to the root part so that it's attached firmly to the vehicle while it's still on it. What do I want? There we go. Nope. There we go. A little fairing on it. That should be cool. Put those in the same firing group. You know, that can't move sensation in dreams is actually a thing. Like, there's a... I don't remember what it is, but there's a scientific name for it. It's a pretty common thing, actually, the sensation that you can't move for during the last little bit of a dream. That looks pretty good. Alright, so we need like a little... This is just a little stage. There's not much to it. In fact, it's really just here to kick it into orbit the last little bit. Be bigger than that. Where are you? I always have a hard time tracking down these parts anymore. Moved everything around. Oh, that's what we're doing. It's happening. I could find the right part. Oh, that's a holding tank. We don't want that. Oh, that's too big. Oh my gosh, guys. Why did you move everything around, squad? That ought to do. I think the real deal is actually a bit longer than that. If I wanted to be... There we go. That'll do it. What is that? Why is that even here? I ask myself sometimes. Just. There we go. That's a little more like it. Oh, that looks kind of cool. I like that. And engines wise, I think this thing only had one engine. Let's just give it something little. Need to be big. Be appropriate. That's too big. Maybe, no. I feel like one of these is gonna be it. Oh, that's right. You can do that now. Thank you for reminding me of that. Alright, this thing would be way smaller than this. It's like a little tiny engine. Which one's gonna be appropriate? Probably just go with the old tried and true over here. Actually, where is... What thrust to weight ratio does that give us? Stage 4. That ought to do it. Once you're in orbit. Pretty decent for the final kick, I think. About the best I'm gonna get out of it. I can make this really small. Sometimes you can change these things. Ah, it's too big. Okay. Some of those really change up. Russian components, American components. What's the difference? They're all made in Taiwan. That's an older movie. Alright, we want a Separatron here. Some sort. Matter of finding the right one in a sea of decouplers. I am really glad that they added all of the decouplers. Goodness gracious. Oh, you know what? This one should actually be one of these. Don't need the shroud. We're gonna auto strut the heaviest part, I think. Actually, we'll auto strut to the root. That one. There we go. We'll make this as close to the top as we can. Not gonna be perfect, but it'll do. Thing structure-wise I could use for that. Not really. Not the best decoupling part in the universe now, is it? Could be bigger. Definitely be a little bigger. Probably should have made that about twice as long. I have an idea. Now we're cooking with portals. That works for me. I think I can even tell it not to stage this, maybe? Yes, okay, so this second one is literally a structural component now. And only the top one is the staging part. Will that actually work? I don't know. We'll find out. That looks pretty good, though. Definitely the top stage. How much Delta V does this one have? That has quite a bit. Let's get it to where it's... We'll probably have to tune this a bit for optimal flight. Let's make it the last about 1400. That's pretty good. And then our other two stages should really only have about 2000 Delta V. I'm probably going to give them more like 2500 combined, because I always like to overfuel these things. We'll see how that goes. So, for the rest of the rocket, let's see what we're going to need to do. We have that fits it. Be a pretty long one that does. Those maybe? No, not quite. Could be, but not quite. That actually might be it. There really isn't a part the same exact... Aha! Okay, there is. I stand corrected. So, kind of rough estimate. The rest of the rocket should be about 4 times as long as this bit right here. So really getting right down to it, about 4 of those tall. Keep clicking the wrong parts. That is what I do. Technically, it could actually be skinnier than that. Do that. Got here. We went down to like that for the bottom. Let me just see something with these in. These would be the engines. That would be correct at the bottom. It's gonna be a weird vehicle. I'm also gonna cheat a little. I'm gonna give it a control device of some sort. Indeed. It's a process. We need kind of size adapter, because it does get like skinnier a little ways down to make room for the boosters to sit on it. It's just a question of what's the right part for such a thing. I think this is it. Yep, there it is. Alright, so we don't need that just yet. That has a lot of Delta V. Good grief. Have everything. There we go. That's way more than I need. That's getting more like it. That could work. That actually has a decent thrust to weight ratio. Yeah, we'll give it a small shroud. Looks pretty good. That's the center stage. So now we need to add these boosters around here. 4 of them to be precise. See. These have their own separators. They do not. So, oh yeah, and I was gonna add one sneaky bit in here. Got a couple of these bad boys. Battery. Oh wait, that's gonna probably, is that gonna impede fuel flow? Nope, it didn't. I know, right? There we go. I don't think this is impeding fuel flow, actually. This is still working. That's good. Okay. So, that should give me a little extra control over this thing. You know what? I shouldn't really need that. Just see how it works without it. Alright, let's see. We need separators. Probably these? Question mark? Maybe? Maybe not. These might do. I'm gonna put them about here. These bad boys on here. Kind of adjust that a bit. That there. Looking pretty solid. Kinda wish I could bring those in a bit. Don't want them to get stuck. That'd be slightly problematic. I think that'll be good. I'm a little closer. We'll see. If everything goes horribly wrong, we'll know why. And then we're going to use the same engines. Going to big shroud them. Yeah. Got those. These are actually separator boosters. We want that on the same stage. And the middle stage will fire up as soon as they're done. There we go. Okay. Looking pretty solid. I think I do need to add my handy dandy picture over here. They did have fins on this thing. Like just one per though, so that's not too exciting. I don't even think they have control authority. I think they were just stabilizers. That's a little too big. We don't want that. That's also a little too big. A winglet, maybe? Yeah, that works. Looks pretty good. I don't know, I would call that a Vostok, personally. Still doesn't need anywhere remotely resembling this amount of fuel. I only really need maybe about 1,000. If even that. I think that'll do. I'd say we have a Vostok rocket. Don't think I'm forgetting anything. Oh yeah, we'll need a launch tower, and these. Correct. Good point. It's a Vostok rocket. And the way they launched these things was really interesting. They didn't even have. We can't really do it in game, but they actually had like a big arm thing it's stuck on, and they fire it up and just let it go, and it flies up. They didn't do the whole big platform like we do. Really interesting. I'm just gonna do it that way though. It's a little easier to work with. Kerbal anyway. You know what? Kinda do need kind of control device on this part of the vehicle, or it's just gonna tumble. Oh well. I'm just gonna fly it. I want to see how it flies. Alright. So double check my staging. There we go. Almost had an issue there. Yep. 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 Okay, everything looks good there. Let's fire it up. Thing might be wild. Oh, it moves. I did not adjust any thrust to weight ratios or anything like that. These rockets not have any control authority? Kidding me, right? Interesting. Okay, good to know. We're gonna need to abort. We're gonna let it tip. Because I don't have any control authority. That's a slight issue. Ooh, what? Alright, we're gonna have to figure that out. Let it pitch a bit. Oh, we can at least test things. Ah, that's awesome. Okay, that part doesn't work. We're gonna need to fix that. That doesn't really work either. RCS works. Alright, so we know what parts of the rocket don't work at least. Oh, that thing drops like a rock. Good grief. Success! Alright. Yeah, most of it broke. Most of it broke. Okay, though. It's fine. We got this. All going according to plan for the most part. Hello! Alright, so, well, at least we know that the pod can land safely. That's not a bad thing to know. Speed that up a little bit, though. Soviet Russia, pod lands you. What's going on with that weird line there? That's interesting. Actually, that did happen, unfortunately, one time. It didn't end well. Or it failed to deploy on one of them. Oh, I should have tested the parachute landing. I'm doing very well. How are you today? I am in fact a Batman fan. Yeah, I think this is gonna be number 2. Let's see here. We have a few bugs to work out. Few bugs. Not a big deal. This did not work, unfortunately. It makes me sad. Because I really like that. But it didn't work, so we're gonna have to try something different. I also need... Apparently, I need the ability to control this craft. Probably aerodynamically? Oh my gosh. I don't even remember it though. It's been so long since I watched it. Oh, I have Restream, which is the thing that dual streams it to YouTube and Twitch. And then it also has a chat log that pops up here so I can see both of them. It's pretty handy. See, that ought to do there. I feel like I'm gonna need more of these though. Oh, yep, good idea. Yep, I forgot that the first time. Gotta remember to do that. This is way too large. Probably what I'm gonna do. It's like, well, if I could do it better, that would be good. We're gonna need to move those briefly. There we go. Alright, so I should now be able to fly the darn thing. At least during takeoff. Hopefully. Well, I can already tell you that my suspicion is that these are going to get taken out by these. So I am going to cheat and use reaction wheels up here. The most likely way to get this to work. Have you not been playing it? And this game is, it's good stuff. I've been playing it a lot lately myself, actually. Fortunately. There's been so many other good games coming out lately that are relevant to my interests, so I've been kind of hopping around between games. So we had an issue here. Let me get rid of this shroud. delete that fairing real quick. This was too close. And it kind of stuck. I think I could get away with it about like that. But the rest is going to have to be probably do something really good looking with struts. Oh, didn't like that. Gonna be finicky. Okay. There we go. Is there any reason to what I'm doing here? No. Oh, man. Oh, that's a bummer. Been there, done that, man. It's never fun. That kind of works. Sort of. Ish. Really. Yeah. You know what? I need a fairing on here anyway. So maybe this doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. Just do this. Heck with it. We'll leave it. Who cares? Whatever. Let's build the fairing. I forgot that this thing should have one. Be kind of like... Actually start. Okay, I see where it did. Come on. You can do it. Just gotta believe in yourself, fairing. Okay. There we go. We're gonna make a clamshell. Make it 4-part. I wonder if I could get that just a little smaller. Oh. Liking the look of it. There we go. That's way better. Look at that. Much nicer. Okay. So we should have a little bit better control over this stuff now. Maybe, if we're lucky. There we go. Alright. #1 rule of Kerbal Space Program, always double check your staging. Good. 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 Alright, here's the other trouble part. There's really no way to fix this thing either. Unfortunately. Why there isn't a engine the same size as this? That's really weird. I guess there's kind of this thing. How much thrust does that have? That's quite a bit. Way more than needed. I do like that one. I haven't used it in a while. Haven't made too many craft where I ended up needing it anymore. Especially because they kind of improved it a little bit. It used to be like everything you made was wacky wobbly all over the place all the time. And they've kind of drastically improved that actually over the couple of versions. I feel like that's an interesting little part. I feel like there's gotta be a better solution than this, because this just looks dumb. We can do that. That. But it sure looks stupid. Not digging that at all. Why they made that so short? Oh well. Oh man, I know what to do. I've got this. There's a trick. I forgot about a part that's new that I really enjoy. Where are you? There is... Remember where the heck they are. There are engine plates now that make what I'm trying to do work. And I need to find the darn things. Thought there were. I'm crazy. Oh, wait. Structural plates, structural plates. I have a... There it is. That's what I'm looking for. They have one that fits this. A little too big. Aha! Okay. So these engine plates are really cool. They actually have a decoupler built into them. You can stick any engine under them. Any number of engines that'll fit on them. Like you can actually do clusters and stuff. It should allow me to do a separator. Let's see. There we go. We don't even need one that long. Short's too short. Looks like medium short. Very cool. Okay, so that'll solve that problem at least. Everything else should be good. Those engine plates are like one of my favorite things they've added. Gotta move that. Staging. Looking good. We're ready to roll. Not to our demise. I don't know if those little reaction wheel doodads I added are gonna have enough authority to actually control this thing. We'll see. But we should be able to fly it a little better now. Oh, I didn't change it. Okay, we're gonna revert the flight. Got this. Where is that anyway? Oh, that's cool. I like that. Okay. Much better. I only throttle this up to maybe like there. It's got a lot of thrust. Alright. Whoa, it's a little wacky wobbly. Alright. Well, we may need to do some rigid strut part stuff. We'll see. If we can make it through this first stage, it won't be a problem. This thing should have enough go. Think. Pretty sure it's gonna make it. Maybe. I'm just gonna burn until it runs out of fuel. Or it hits 80 kilometers. Alright. Sweet. Alright, so we need to pair. There we go, right about there. Oh, it's definitely leaving the Kármán line. 70 kilometers is the Kármán Kerbal. Oh, all my custom stuff went away. I'll have to redo that. So we've got about 46-second long burn. So about 23 seconds before the node, we want to fire this up. So we're coming up on it. This will be our insertion burn. Oh, you lied to me, Kerbal. You lied to me. That's okay. We'll still get into orbit just fine. It'll just be a weird orbit. Maybe. Sure hope so. Oh yeah, yeah, we've got this. Delta V do we have left? Yep, more than enough. Coming up on the end of the burn. Throttle down. Down some more. Whole bunch. Kind of round this off. Not quite circular, unfortunately. That'll do. That is what we would call an orbit. Sweet. Those RCS thrusters work pretty good. And our little antenna majig, so we look cool. There we go. That looks pretty Vostoky to me. Not bad. So my final orbit isn't great, but stays out of the atmosphere, so I'll take it. I am going to go around to my apoapse and then lower my periapse so that we can re-enter on the light side of the planet. That would be a lot nicer than the alternative. Actually set up a maneuver. Why not? There we go. That should get us back safely. Hopefully the heat shield with its mere 20 ablator is sufficient. No. We'll find out. Okay. So let's quick save. Zip ourselves around to node. A margin of 3 minutes, hopefully. Free from us. It's probably the third stage. Alright, so we really don't need to do much. Should basically take, yeah, about 3 seconds tops to do this. Kind of zip up to it. This does not need to be a precise maneuver either. In the way of battery do I have? Lights on so we can see it. Alright, we're coming up on the maneuver. Go ahead and fire up my RCS real quick. Kind of tumbling, that's okay. Alright, let's see how we did. Yep, that'll do. That's a re-entry. Probably do this. I don't know what orientation they used for the real thing before re-entry. Probably gonna go with a retrograde. RCS cluster I did actually has a pretty good amount of control over the craft. It's really not bad, all things considered. Get ourselves a good view here. There we go. Alright, so we're at re-entry interface, actually. We're going to go ahead and get rid of this thing. I'm going to go with right about... probably now. Get a little lower. Maybe about 60 kilometers. We'll drop the retrograde stage. He's having a good time. Coming up on 60 kilometers. All right, position that. See how we do. These things literally kind of just free tumble on the way in. It's kind of wild. I can see it's got a little heat shield on the bottom. That's cool. I like that. This thing comes in pretty smooth. It does not have nearly the deceleration that the capsules have, so they just kind of hit the atmosphere and just put on the brakes. This thing's kind of just arcing right on in. Let's go to the internal view. Oh, that looks good. Any other windows? Yeah. Got it. I think we're tumbling. No. Not getting a very good view of things. There we go. We got some re-entry heating. I'm very interested to see how the ablator does. I have a feeling it's going to be pretty good, actually. Yeah, it can get pretty RAM heavy. You said you had, what, like 2 at the moment available? Yeah, it'd be pretty hard to run Kerbal with just 2 gigs of RAM. It's gotten a lot better than it used to be. Man, back before official release on some of the older beta versions, it was pretty rough as far as RAM and CPU usage. Before they gave it a multi-core CPU usage too. Man, that was a big change. Wow, that is ultra efficient. I know, right? I think we might actually end up with this thing in the water. Maybe. Let's see. We're already about cooled off. How many G's are we pulling? Not very much. Pretty low G re-entry. What is that? 1, 2, 3, I think. The real thing was like 8 or 9 G's re-entry. It's pretty brutal. All right. So I'm going to deploy the parachute momentarily. But we're still going to have her get out, because that's what they really did. Gonna go ahead and deploy that. There you go. So about 7 kilometers up, she's gonna bail out, and we're gonna have her parachute herself to the ground, because that is how this actually works. Hopefully the chute will fully deploy by then. That'd be good. Coming up on that. There we go. I don't know that that thing's actually gonna successfully deploy chute. See. 1986. I really like the alternate spacesuits. Very cool. Oh, hey, I think I just heard the mains on that one. Yep, it did deploy. Cool. Valentina's deploys here soon. Well, time now. Oh, it deploys at 1,000. Okay. Oh, cool. Like an airfoil. Starman. Oh, that's really fun. I like that they did this. I'm gonna try to come in and land near it. I think we're actually gonna beat the capsule to the ground. It's so slow. Here we go. Here we go. I mean, this thing can actually like give you a decent amount of lift. Oop, capsule's rolling. Let's chase after it. Where it's gonna go. We're gonna go down here. Capsule's on its own. Yeah, this thing gets pretty decent lift. Boop. That was quite the landing. We got this. What could go wrong? Uh-oh. Rolling this way. The heck is it going? I don't think it's gonna stop rolling until it like hits the desert. I think it's just gonna go. Yeah, this is pretty high up. Decent sized mountain right here. Oop, oop, oop. It might be running out of energy. Oh, that's kind of cool. I can like aim the camera at it. I like that. That's a new feature. Hey, I think we're gonna catch it. Nope, nope, nope. It's gonna roll some more. Uh oh. Stop rolling. Yeah, the helmet's got a weird shape to it. Oh no. Stop it. Stop it. I think what it's gonna do is it's gonna work itself down the hill like this now. All of its wacky rolling. I'm gonna plant a flag. There we go. Landing site of Vostok 2. Vostok 1 had some problems. That's okay though. Learning experience. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and recover her. Check my he claims the desert. He gets around a bit. Well, that was cool. I like flying that thing. It still has some kinks to work out. If I fly one again, well, I am going to fly one of these again because I'm going to build a Vostok. So it'll be a Vostok, I guess. Probably next episode, so to speak, of my stream. And we'll need to work out, the big kink in this right now is that it gets wacky wobbly right about here. And there's a few ways we can fix that. Auto strutting, that'll help. We want to, yeah, do that. That looks good. Auto strut that to the root part. Have these all be rigid attachment. That should help shore it up next time. If I try the cascade and it doesn't work, does the same wacky wobbly thing, then we'll have to look at probably some struts down here. It really honestly probably wouldn't be a bad idea to do a few anyway, like for the sake of it. It just looks silly. Oh well. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to build that part because I want to see if all of those options actually do something next time I build one of these. That'll be cool. Don't you worry. I am planning on it. I'm going to do Vostok, which was the second one where they had 2 of them, and they also, I believe, did an EVA because they had an airlock built into it. And then that one also landed. It was really interesting. I don't know how the heck I'm going to do it, but it actually landed with a little bit of rocket assist. They actually had rockets, I believe, strapped to the parachutes lines. That's crazy. To slow it down because they couldn't bail out of it, so they actually had to land in it. And I'm going to do Soyuz. And I think I'm going to try their plans for the moon landing that they were going to do, but never got to do. So don't you worry, I will be doing a lander. Yeah, we'll need to do a space station at some point. Maybe not just yet, though. I also still have my overarching mission from my previous bunch of episodes of this, where I was going to try to put a flag on everything in the system, but that's going to take a while, so. And I actually have to burn time anyway until good transfer windows, so it's good to play around with this stuff in the meantime. But in any event, I'm going to go ahead and end the stream here tonight here. Definitely think we accomplished a Vostok-alike mission. Went pretty well. Like I said, next time I do this, I'm going to try to do a Vostok style thing, and then we'll go on to Soyuz, so look forward to that. Probably, well, I don't know exactly what I'm going to be streaming this weekend, but it will definitely be this weekend. So, I'm just not sure how the weekend's going to play out yet. But if you are still watching, I hope you've been enjoying. I've definitely been enjoying playing, and thanks you for watching. You have a good one.